Hello everyone and welcome to another server tour. This will be the second last server tour on this server map here, and as you can see everyone's dialed up for this one because we got a new awesome project to show you and some of the results as well. So if I check my inventory here, Bowception and Wither Skeleton Skull. Although we are planning to move to a new world, that doesn't mean that we are not planning to do some epic stuff in this world as well still. And yeah, so let's just directly check out the project we were working on for the last week or so. And it has been a massive project. A lot of time was consumed, but I think the outcome is just so epic that we don't want to keep it secret for any longer. So let's go and check this out. And by the way, we are redesigning everything here. So you might have noticed that this looked a little bit different before, and some other areas as well, which we don't want to spoil yet, but in the last video probably, since we are also planning to do a world download. So you will be able to check everything in survival, and yeah, this will be hopefully a little bit before the actual 1.5 release, so that you have time before playing 1.5 to enjoy this map here. Anyway, this is the entrance to our perimeter. It has been redone, so it's still WIP, as you can see. And yeah, let's throw ourselves down. Woohoo! And before I actually show you what we've built in here, you can see we've placed a lot of iron bars. Oh, and Wooby didn't manage the insanely difficult drop here, but I guess he will follow us in a bit. Oh, so awesome. So I'm using Optifine so I can actually zoom to them. These iron bars are just here to prevent guests from coming into this perimeter and blowing up what we've built in the middle. And yeah, so I'm also got some time lapses of us building them up. And yeah, just to tease you a little bit more, I'm going to blend them in right now, and then we are actually turning around to see the actual project. Let's go. Okay, so now we are ready, and we are raising up the screen. You can already see something. Ta-ta-ta-ta! Okay, so this is the Wither Ripper farm, pretty much. But it's a really improved and enhanced design compared to the one we once showed you in a presentation video. And it took us a while to build this up because it's, really a lot of redstone involved, ghasts around everywhere, and a lot of pistons and whatnot, and since you can't fly and you have to build this in the air, it's also pretty tricky, but we managed to do this. Yeah, so mostly Cabra and I actually. And we are now proudly presenting it to you. So this is the entrance area. And yeah, Marcy and Thomas designed this. So thanks guys, and maybe you can express your thoughts about what you did, what went through your brain when designing this.
Yeah, we saw the old entrance, thought, oh my god, and made a new one.
Yeah, so the old one was designed by me, but unfortunately I didn't like it. Yeah, so back there are some wither skeleton skulls, hidden. And yeah, they also indicate that this farm is mainly made for hunting wither skeletons and other mobs, obviously. So, as you can see, this is what we are looking for. And over here, oh yeah, it's getting noisy. Yeah, so let's just quickly show you how this farm is supposed to work. I got a Wither Ripper sword, looting 3 and unbreaking 3, and those ones, since we renamed them, always need exactly 25 levels to be repaired, so they won't get more expensive over time. It's pretty difficult to get these swords. You have to use books or get really lucky to only get looting on it, so otherwise they are too expensive to repair. But yeah, we managed to get 3 of these swords now, and yeah, let me just quickly run through this a single time. And we can see how many mobs we get in here. It's actually extremely crazy. Yeah, so let me just quickly get to level 30. Go! And we are at level 30, and this time I got 1 wither skeleton skull, but I actually was pretty unlucky. But then usually, yeah, we get 4% wither skeleton skulls, so if you kill around 25 wither skeletons, you get 1 on average with a looting 3 swords. Yeah, so I'm quickly going to do an enchantment on a book. Let's check if there are any books left, and then well, let's see what we get. Protection 3. Fine. So, in this chest here, there is everything, and yeah, all the wither skeletons, skulls we got so far, and let's take a look at it. Ta-ta-ta-ta! So, yep, all farmed allegedly in survival. Yeah, and usually I get like 3 of them when I get, or 1 to 3 of them when I get to level 30, so what the fuck, this is over 300 wither skulls, and I think, yeah, we had the idea to try actually to spawn 100 withers at a time, which is possible with this, and defeat 100 withers, since the 10 withers last time were so easily to defeat. Obviously we'll use beacons and fully geared diamond armor this time, but seriously, 100 withers, how cool would be that if you can manage to kill them. And by the way, it already filled up in the meantime. So, and it's just so much fun to kill these guys here. And if you also take a look at inventory, I got yeah, a lot of stone swords, gold nuggets, and whatnot. So yeah, if you take a look at the side here, these chests here are meant to be random chests, and from the back you can actually grab this stuff and put it into the sorted chests here. And if you take a look at yeah, what we found so far, several double chests of coal and blaze rods, and this thing has been built up for 3 days now, and we are actually yeah, we are just actually finishing stuff around the farm, like finishing the closing of the perimeter with iron bars. So we weren't actually farming a lot, but yeah, also we already got 1.5 stacks of golden blocks from this, so this thing is just super crazy. And yeah, also a lot of levels, as you could tell. It doesn't take that long, it's around as fast as an Enderman farm, but the big advantage is you get so much loot. So actually I think we'll check out how this farm works now, and maybe Cover will take over at this part and also talk a little bit about this. See you in a moment.
Okay, so let's go up to the top now. We have a little passageway on the side here behind the enchanting area. And there's an ender pearl elevator there. I'm going to take the ladder because I can't handle the ender pearl elevator. I lag too much.
Yeah, sometimes it spazzes out a little bit, but you just need to keep pressing shift and you're at some point at the top.
So at the top, you can see we have the spawn spaces over here. There are 7 rows. They're 28 blocks long and they go 4 high, so that's 784 spawn spaces in this farm. They're just tripwire triggered piston pushers. There's soul sand there, which allows the tiny magma cubes that spawn on this soul sand behind the pistons or underneath the pistons to go through that half slab because it's an eighth of a block lower, so they are actually able to fit down there.
Yeah, so one thing to add, you can see it over here a little bit better. Getting the tiny magma slimes all either transported into one of the cactuses or down to the player where he can kill them is really, really crucial, because the spawn rate of them is way higher within a fortress than in a normal area. So before we installed these cacti here, we quickly filled up quite a huge part of the mob cap with tiny slimes, and the farm was slowing down a lot. So this is by far not unnecessary. But yeah, let's go on, Cabo.
Yeah, so the soul sand idea was Shishioto's idea. He suggested that. That was very helpful of him. And we have the cactus on the sides and on the back for any other slimes as well. As you can probably hear, there are lots of pistons triggering. Once the mobs get pushed down, you can see there's a stair of piston pushers that push the mobs all the way down the far side over here, where they drop. And then let's go down 1 level to take a look at that.
And you may be wondering, why didn't we just funnel them to the middle, but we are funneling them to the left side? And this is simply because this farm is not in the center of the perimeter, but a little bit off. And yeah, the other part was just too close to the side, so we actually had to to move the running strip here towards this side to be 128 meters away from the back wall. And since this is also very close to this side, we extended this. And yeah, we also got some footage of that, but I will show this later, how we actually blew up parts of the back wall there to make sure that we are getting rid of all unnecessary pigment spawns out of the farm.
Alright, so now we're at the lower part, and it looks kind of complicated, but it's actually just 2 parts. On the right side, or in the back side there, you can see 2 double piston extenders, and those are just sorting out the blazes. So it pushes all of the blazes to this side over here. Gets almost 100% of the blazes. Sometimes we get skeletons or zombie pigmen on this side as well, but that's okay. We just want to make sure that as many blazes as possible get over here so that they go into this crusher that's on the front side. Crusher just brings them down to half a heart so that we can kill them with 1 hit, because if they didn't get crushed and just fell down, we'd have to spend a lot of time hitting them and trying to kill them, and we don't want to do that. We want to kill them as quickly as possible. So that's what this does, sorts them out and then crushes them.
Yeah, so the point of the separator, because we could obviously just crush all the mobs, is also just killing them as fast as possible. So the mobs which we can kill by fall damage, which is obviously way quicker than a crusher, we are trying to just drop them down directly, and the other mobs are being crushed, so that as a few mobs as possible are always around, and we can have as many spawns as possible at each time point. Yep. So we were redoing the wiring for the crusher a lot, and yeah, maybe Cabo can also quickly go over it, just the basic concept. And yeah, what is important is obviously that everything is spawn proof, and there are also some important facts you might not know yet, so let's go.
Okay, so the way the crusher works is pretty simple. Down here at the bottom, it may be a little hard to see, but we've got a memory cell. When they land on a tripwire there, they set the memory cell, which sends a pulse through a repeater timer here, and at the same time also closes an airlock so that more mobs can't fall down, and starts the crusher. and then at the end of the repeater timer, it resets the memory cell, opens up the airlock, and lets the mobs fall down to the place where you killed them below.
Yeah, so here you can see it. Let's just wait for another cycle. Right now they are crushing, and then I will just go through the steps. So this place is just coming along the side here, and waiting for the airlock to open again. So top opens, then the crusher opens. As soon as they hit the tripwire, first the glass blocks close, and then the crusher closes as well. So that even if a mob is just falling in at the moment while the glass blocks are closing, he still sinks to the bottom before the crusher crushes, so that they all have equal damage. You can see it one more time here. First crusher crushes, it waits for a moment, and then it's first the glass blocks closed, and then it waits for a moment, and then the crusher crushes. Yep. So yeah, this is really making sure that all mobs have one half left, and it works just fine.
Now, to make this spawn proof, if you look over here, you can see we have some blocks. For example, over here in front of the memory cell, you can see we have redstone here. And to make that spawn proof above, we just put solid blocks, because in a one high space, no mobs can spawn, not even tiny magma slimes, if you have a solid block above. So we just put that above all of these monostable circuits and above all the redstone to prevent tiny slimes from spawning. So this is completely spawn proof up here.
Yeah, so once again, mobs cannot spawn on transparent blocks, and glowstone is actually the only transparent block where you can put redstone on. Stuff like upside down half slabs are not transparent from above. You might know that mobs can actually spawn there, but they can't spawn on glowstone. So we are mostly using the glowstone here. If you put a half slab over a redstone, you can block off pigman spawns, but not tiny magma slime spawns. But because they, before they go to the detailed spawn algorithm where they actually check the hitbox, just go to a check where it checks if there's a just a non-transparent block below and 2 transparent blocks above. So yeah, a half slab is considered as transparent on at least non-solids, and this block here is not. So even though a slime would fit there, it actually cannot spawn here, as Kevo already told you. And for the repeaters, it's simply that the hitbox itself is in the way for spawning a slime, because it would otherwise be actually spawned within the repeater, which is not allowed. And so repeaters are always spawn proof. Yeah, and it was pretty tricky to get this wiring spawn proof, but we made it. Yeah, and there's also some additional stuff. Maybe you can explain what the purpose of this wire going through the center is?
Yeah. So down in the actual killing area, which we'll show later, there are 2 switches. There's one which will reset the crusher if it gets stuck. If you unload the chunks and the repeaters get stuck, it will reset the crusher. It will also reset the sorters if for some reason the repeaters on those get stuck as well. There's also another lever which turns on the auto kill for the crusher. This simply delays the signal coming through here by another 4 ticks, so that it kills all the mobs in the crusher instead of letting them drop down. This is so that if you are just trying to get wither skulls and don't care about the experience or the blaze rods, you can do that. It works pretty simply. It's just an AND gate on this piston here, and when the pulse comes through, if the lever is flipped, then it will allow the signal to go into a repeater lock, which just delays the line for a few more ticks.
Yeah. So the tricky part was mostly getting it spawn proof and getting it working consistent, even with very inconsistent mob streams. And yeah, also building this just up in the air is a little bit annoying if you cannot fly. But you can guess we managed it. And yeah, let's just check the killing area one more time. There's one thing we also thought about, and that's the placement of the vines down there. Yeah, let me just jump down here. Oh, yeah, I guess you cannot probably see it from over here, but from the top of this roof here. So the vines are placed in a way that the middle ones are a little bit lower. The reason for this is simply because if you kill a zombie pigman, yeah, some of them are also spawning on this, dropping down on this side, as we told you that we do eventually always also sometimes sort out other mobs, and they get aggro. They start running on top of the vines. So this can be a little bit annoying because they will usually never go down. But as you can see, there it is happening. 2 of them are aggro and therefore running. But if you move to the left side, or if Senka moves to the left side because he they are aggro at him, they will just drop down 1 block and then, yeah, drop down to the complete bottom. You just saw it maybe. And so this is just making sure that we get all of them to the player. And you can see it works out pretty well. We get some other mobs than the blazes as well on this side, but no blazes on the right side. So all mobs are at 1 heart or half a heart left, which is perfect for just punching them. Although we actually do use the iron swords anyway, so we could have even left them with a little bit more life. And there are also tiny magma slimes dropping down, and those are from the farm, and they are actually quite common. So like 10% of the mobs here are tiny magma slimes. So as I told you, it was really necessary to get those soul sand and those cacti up there. Okay, so this is pretty much actually all about the technical part of this farm here. And yeah, we're just farming all the time pretty much. It just makes so much fun to punch these pigmen, slimes, skeletons, wither skeletons, and yeah, so many different mob types here. Really crazy. And yeah, there's also an entrance at the back here. You can see, get bones, gold. You actually don't get magma cream here, but we just set up a chest in case we are hitting any magma slimes which are dropping like in the perimeter or so. And for some of these stones was actually enchanted. And just if you take a look at this, no, those swords are actually enchanted by someone. Those are too good. But for the golden swords, I actually got I think a sword with 3 enchantments on it once. Yeah, this one is seriously, it's from a zombie pigman. Smite 3, looting 1, and knockback 1. I don't know if this one is from a zombie pigman because it's also used up a bit. Eventually it is. I have no idea how high the chances are or if they can actually get such a high enchantment. But we got some really crazy golden swords. Obviously they are waste, but who cares? It's cool.
I got a loot 3 from one at one point.
Are you sure that it was looting 3?
I think it was looting 3. I'm pretty sure it was looting 3.
Wow. Well, I know that you can get looting, but looting 3 would be extremely crazy. Okay, so at this wall here, yeah, this is the wall. We increased a little bit. Yeah, we just extended perimeter over here. There, those are the old iron bars. Actually, you can see it from the ceiling, and this sped up the farm by quite a bit actually. I think because well, this was just the edge where the last few mobs were spawning. And if you just are at the edge of the farm, it's still too close. But since you're moving back and forth, you're always just pretty much unloading the mobs which are spawning here, which makes sure that it's always working fine. Although this is not 128 meters away from the edge of the farm. So I think I finally found a method to fix the stupid, extremely slow chunk loading here. The Optifine thing. Now it works way fast again. Hooray. Whatever. So let's go and check out our next little project here. So there's one more thing you want to show you in this episode. Mainly it was about the Wither Ripper farm, obviously, but yeah, we also rebuilt the spider farm. So let's check that out and see you over there. Okay guys, so here we are at our spider farm. And we already prepared it with a lot of spiders, so let me quickly check it. So we got, I don't know, it's around 600 spiders in this. Yeah. And yeah, just waiting for you. It's the old spider farm with this 4 spider spawners, but just completely rebuilt. And over there they are being transported out. As you can see, they somewhere go up there. Don't know the entire count. Whatever, and being transported over to this drop here, which just drops them down so far that they have pretty much half a heart left. So the point is why we have this drop a little bit wider is so that they don't climb the walls. And if I check the whole thing from the back wall here, you can actually see that there are these iron bars and trapdoors, and they completely encase them, so they cannot ever get me. I'm totally safe here. And if I'm now throwing a potion, we'll get a lot of XP. Bam! Oh yeah, and even a little bit of lag. Oh yeah. Woohoo! Yeah.
Wow, 1 FPS.
Yeah, the problem for me is that the spiders are hitting me and I can't see them. No, I don't wanna die. Shit.
I'm
Let
not
me get
even
out, let
looking
me
at
get
the
out,
damn
let me get
things.
out, let me get out, let me get out. Okay. I am so prone to die. Yep. Shit.
Wait,
Okay.
how did you die?
Being hit by the spiders because I actually jumped in to get the XP. But there were no spiders dropping from the top. 1 sec, I'm coming back, so people can already check how you actually get to the spider farm. So, directly at the side of our main base, pretty much. And here we are. Are the XP still left, or did you collect them all?
They're still here.
Oh yeah, they are coming. I guess the server couldn't just transmit them so quickly. Let's check. Wow, yeah, like 1,500 laser orbs here. It's a little bit laggy. Yeah, so oh yeah, this looks amazing. Problem is just I can barely see them. Yeah, I opened up these trapdoors here to get rid of, or to collect the XP orbs, but now the spiders can also get them.
There's a spider in the thing!
I killed him already, no problem. Hey, get me the XP. This is so funny. There are like 1,000 XP orbs within you. Woohoo! Move around a little bit, it looks cool.
Finally, 38 FPS.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know, for some reason they are not being rendered anymore. I guess those XP orbs actually stacked or what? No, don't know. It's nice to stand in Camo and drag his XP. Oh yeah, now I see more of those orbs. Ooh. Yep. So this was 700 spiders. Yep, done. And although I'm died, I'm still again at level 29. So what did we do?
37 for me.
Oh wow, yeah. As I told you, we just changed this drop here, and the reason was previously we had water above fences to drop the spiders directly. But the problem is, since they changed the damage just to make it more consistent, they actually just reduced the damage at all, or removed it at all if you're dropping any mob on a water source, and yeah, therefore they weren't actually getting damage anymore. So we had to rebuild it and just make them drop onto a solid surface here. And yeah, as I told you, we had to do this 3x3 hole with the encasement with iron bars and trapdoors to get them all to a consistent health and without them climbing the walls again and dying. Yeah, and it works pretty well. We can also take a look at it from the top. Let me check. There is a secret ladder here at the end, which is unreachable without an ender pearl. Screw it. Yep. If you can turn on the farm maybe one more time, you can see them actually rising. Or is it turned on? Ah, it was turned on already. Just keep out the light. Ah, almost. Problem is... I don't have a feather falling suit. Okay, let's... There's also an alternative route, and that's just stacking up. Wait. I missed it. Yeah, so the farm itself is prepared, but this is a little bit rough still. Yeah, and you can see they are coming out of this elevator here, and you actually might wonder, how did we do the elevator? Well, it pretty much works like a Pricey's cow elevator, and yeah, I will link you to a video where you can clearly see the design. It consists out of alternating iron bars, or I don't know, it's actually I think it's fences. It's just the top one is an iron bar, because otherwise the spiders wouldn't fit through it, because the fence is half a block higher. So alternating fences and water sources. So they're pretty much climbing up in between 2 blocks, and since there's always a water source but also always an air block, they're not suffocating and still rising all the time. Yeah, so it works pretty well. As you can see, they are currently tracking us. That's why they are fighting against the current. But we also made the elevator so far back, and also it's so high up above the farm, that if you're idling in the middle, you are out of the tracking range of the spiders. Therefore, they are just behaving like if there was no one around, and just follow the water stream. So this was also pretty necessary. As you can see, since it was tracking us, he managed to land on the edge there. But he will eventually walk into the middle anyway, so that is also not a problem. Yeah, so that's pretty much the spider farm explained very quickly. And now I need to get rid of this glass here, or you can just drop down at the side anyway. And we actually mainly needed this for the string, for example, for the Wither Ripper farm, since those 700 pistons and spawn places, it also needs 700 drip barrier. And at the back here, there's also one, well, more or less fancy thing here. I think I showed you last time this potion room brew setup. I mean, in 1.5 there will be much more fancy systems with the hoppers and all the automated item processing blocks, which are now available. But this is pretty much the fastest thing you can get on 1.4.7 server. Quickly, just need to dump my inventory here to show you what I mean. Yeah, and it's the same way as last time. You jump down, grab a stack of 27 bottles here. Yeah, click straight up, and you will fill your inventory with 27 bottles. Ta-da! And then there are these numbers which indicate where to start. We start on this side here and just fill all them with fill all those in. Once you filled 9 of the brewing stands, the first one will be already done brewing. Yeah, so you can shift click them out again to grab those stuff. Do the same with spider eyes, then fermented spider eyes, and last but not least gunpowder to in the end get a lot of instant damage potions. So maybe it takes 2 to 3 minutes to go one round, but after that you will have a complete chest of them. So if you are not able to automate your farm, or if you don't have any hoppers yet, this is probably the fastest method of brewing potions. And yeah, I like these potions, these potion rooms, because they are just so simple. And let me just quickly store those water bottles. And yeah, I think we are done with the rambling here. Let's just meet up at the storage room and then we'll say goodbye. Okay, so that's it about this server tour. And there's one last thing to address. We decided, since we are restarting the server and we are also going to do more Let's Plays on this server, so like some other people are trying to make videos about it as well, we need a server logo. So first of all, we would need a name for the server, right? And yeah, actually it was already mentioned in a quiz. We decided on the name ZipCrowd. So the spelling is this ZipCrowd. And well, the name is pretty much a mixture out of some words. Let's just check it up. Cabo wrote it down for me because I always mess it up. Crowd is a nickname for Germans. So crowd, whatever. Group of people. So crowds, yeah, you get it. And zip, my JL zip code, and obviously it's flashy and exciting, and it's pretty much the hippie crowd. So we are always running around and building crazy stuff, and zipping also means compactifying stuff. Maybe that's also another thing we could address here. We are building compact redstone. Well, not really that compact, but like we compact every possible farm design into one world. So,
and we also compress many files.
And last but not least, we are compressing millions of creepers in form of gunpowder into chests.
Indeed.
Yeah. So it's I think it's a pretty fitting name, and yeah. So if you have a cool idea, just draw something, a logo or so. You can just post this as an don't know. You can post the link in the comments. You know there are some tricks to do so, or send me a message, or maybe you can also make a 3-second video showing the logo. Whatever. There are a lot of ways to show it to me. And yeah, so we can decide on them. Or you can also suggest other names if you have another idea. It's not 100% definite, but I think I like the name a lot. So yeah, it's up to you.
You have to tell them to not use the WinZip logo because
That's
that's
copyrighted.
copyrighted. Yeah.
But other than that, that's it for today. So see you next time. Have fun, and yeah, there's a new outro, so yeah, go check it out. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.